Hi, I'm Chris Rimbolt, and welcome to the channel. I wanted to introduce myself first. I am a self-employed health insurance agent. I have been self-employed doing this for about 5 years. Before that, I worked in a corporate job for about 5 years as well, and I was a homeschooled kid all the way from childhood through age 18, and a country boy, grew up in the country, and went to Middle Tennessee State University, and there got a degree in aerospace because I love flying. It seemed like a great degree for me, and I haven't used that degree really, but it's okay. I fly for fun now, and what I do at this point does not require a degree. But anyway, I wanted to introduce myself and then kind of talk about what this channel's topics will be. First and foremost, I want to be 100% authentic on here. I don't want to have any motive to make a YouTube channel other than to talk about things that I like to talk about with a similar community of people that find these things interesting. So if you're watching this, that's you. I'm very excited to get to know this community and engage with you. In fact, this first video here will be mainly question and answer from my personal Facebook page where I posted a Q&A for my first video for this project. But yeah, I just want to be making a channel for fun. And it's outside my comfort zone, I'll be honest about that. Putting myself out there and talking about things that interest me, it takes a leap, but I'm here and I'm very excited to do it. Super pumped for this. So here are some of the topics just a few of the topics that I would like to talk about on this channel, things that interest me and things that have helped me. Those are really the two categories. And here we go. Book reviews, cars and driving, social commentary, a little bit, not too much, don't worry. Tesla, SpaceX, futurism, a company called Neuralink is of great interest to me as well. The Cybertruck in particular is one of my most common mental topics. If you were to say that a person becomes what they think about, which is actually true, and then say a comical version of that, you would see that I am a Cybertruck because I think about them so much. Self-employment, another big topic. Self-realization, personal development, meditation and mantras, wealth building, flying and airplanes, immortality, innovation, travel, obsolete technology, watches, psychology, and nature. Those are some of the things that I wrote down here that I can't wait to talk about. All right, so for this first video, I wanted to do the question and answer and had quite a few people post some questions for me, and I greatly appreciate that. So let's start out with Judy's question. By the way, Judy's a close friend of mine. She was my first ever manager, and I learned a lot from her. She's an awesome person. She asked, how much weight have you lost? So it's been a few years since Judy saw me, and probably the pictures of me on social media, etc., have shown me slimming down a little bit. I wanted to use this to talk about a program that really helped me called 75 Hard. 75 Hard is a program where for 75 days you have to do, I think it's like 8 things. It is workout for 45 minutes at least indoors, do another workout for 45 minutes at least outdoors, and you have to drink a gallon of water at least. You have to take a progress picture. You have to read 10 pages of a personal development or business type book every day, and audiobooks do not count. You also, goodness, I don't remember what the other things were, but basically it's a physical and mental challenge. It's mainly mental because if you miss just one thing, you have to start over from day one, all 75 days, even if it was on day 74 that you forgot something. It's pretty crazy. But that actually really helped me mentally and physically. I lost quite a bit of weight. And then after doing phase a 75 hard boot camp, which is 75 days, and then another 30-day phase of it, and another 30-day phase of it, I ended up with better habits, drinking less alcohol, eating less sugar, and then right after that we went vegan and vegetarian, by the way, if there's a pizza around, because I got to eat pizza once in a while, and it's been good. So I would say my weight peaked at about 230, and I'm down to between 180 and 185 regularly now. And to maintain that, I just watch what I eat, watch what I drink, and run 2 miles in the mornings on weekdays. But that's how much weight I've lost, Judy. Thank you. Chad is a good friend of mine. He and I got to know each other at our corporate job that I had before I went self-employed. He is an awesome person, and he asked top 5 books to facilitate personal growth. So here's the thing about a top 5 list. If you have a top 5 list, you've got 5 cool books to start with. There's not just one, though, that you can say, okay, I need to get that book and start with it. I will show you a few of mine. They're on the bookshelf behind me here. I would have to say, well, that one's a sequel. Let me grab, here we go. As far as the book that impacted me the most, like out of all books I've ever read, it would have to be The Power of Now. This is a very odd book, and not everyone is necessarily ready for it. You have to want to find more peace and find more joy. That has to be a place that you're coming from. But if you are wanting more of those things, this is a book that I've read 6 times, and its sequel, A New Earth, 6 times as well. What I have gained from reading those books is my superpower, which was a question that was asked in here as well, so we'll come back to that. But Chad, I would recommend getting The Power of Now and A New Earth and reading those, and actually the audiobooks are phenomenal too. So if you're not doing 75 hard and it's okay to listen to audiobooks for learning stuff, then definitely check out those 2 books. All right, next question. Thank you, Chad, for that one. Jason has asked superhero power. Jason is one of the coolest guys I know. He lives out in North Carolina, and he is a Tesla fanboy as well. We love talking about what Elon Musk is up to. He asks superpower. So my superpower is it's real, and it works probably 95% of the time. And it is the ability to notice an emotional reaction to a situation before I actually express that emotion. So if something is upsetting to me and I notice, oh, wow, this is upsetting to me, before I actually become upset, then I am able to not become upset. I'm like, well, that's kind of an upsetting situation, and I don't physically or emotionally fully react to it. So what that does for me is allows me to be more kind to people, be more understanding of people, have a little more compassion and a little bit less judgment. And frankly, that has been very good for my relationships with my family, my relationship with my wife, which has always been good, but it's been getting better and better, even during this time when we've been working from home pretty much since March. But yeah, you can get that sort of ability by reading the books, The Power of Now and A New Earth, and it will make your whole life better. My man Eric Tuthill, by the way, Eric is my CPA, and he is awesome, and he did a phenomenal job helping us with our taxes. When you're self-employed, taxes are a pretty big part of your life, so you want somebody that knows all the rules, knows how to coach their clients to have good habits throughout the year so that tax time is easy and logical, and help you make decisions in advance that will benefit you down the road. So if you need a CPA, I cannot recommend Tuthill CPA more highly, and it's spelled exactly how it sounds, Tuthillcpa. Look him up. But his question for me was, what do you think about the design on the Tesla truck? Also, what do you think are the best features? What do you think about cross-country traveling with electric vehicles? So the Tesla truck, known as a Cybertruck, I pre-ordered it on the announcement night, and I have been childishly excited about it ever since. 2 days ago, I had a very vivid dream about going and picking it up and driving it around for the first day, and that is a recurring dream at this point. I love the Cybertruck. Yesterday, I watched probably 40 minutes of Cybertruck videos, including the original unveiling, which I had not rewatched. So the reason I like it so much is it's made out of stainless steel. It's ultra hard, and like an airplane, the structure is on the outside of it. So most vehicles have a construction where there's like this frame, and then there's a body on the frame, and then there's wheels and an engine on this frame as well. And a lot of it is dead weight in that setup, and it's fairly fragile. And cars have been built like that because that's how carriages were built. That's how things have been put together with wheels for well over 100 years. And the Cybertruck is different in that the structural strength is on the outside of it, like an airplane. So it's called a monocoque construction, and the stress and the weight is all on the outside of the vehicle. That's very unusual for a car, and it's also very inexpensive to build. And the material they're making it out of is the same alloy that they're using for the Starship, which is a next generation rocket that SpaceX is building, which we will definitely talk about at some point. There's tests for that going on this week that I'm excited about. But I would say that it is one of the most revolutionary vehicles to have been designed or concepted ever, and I cannot wait to drive it around. As far as cross country, the battery day that Tesla is going to have in August, I think it's August 28th, they will announce some of their new battery technology, and that will include things like, most likely, a 1,000,000-mile battery, which means that your battery in your car will last 1,000,000 miles, probably longer than the car itself. So you may end up keeping your battery through 2 or 3 vehicles. And also they have a new fast charge setup where they're able to heat up the battery in advance of the charge, which allows it to accept power more quickly without any kind of bad consequence for battery life. So cross-country travel in an EV, I would actually rather do that than gasoline. I know that occasionally I will have to stop for 30 minutes or so to charge up, but that's all right. I really like electric power. If you have not driven a Tesla, I highly recommend you do it. And on this channel, I'm going to go to the Tesla store and drive one just to show you all how easy that is to do. Big fan of EVs. Another friend of mine, Terry, he is a big sci-fi fan as well, and he and I like to talk about science fiction and watches. And Terry asked, science fiction versus space opera, which is basically like saying Star Trek versus Star Wars. I'm very much a science fiction guy. The reason I'm into science fiction is because it's kind of like a preview of the future a lot of the time. If you go back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and read some of the good sci-fi from back then, it predicted a lot of the things that we have today. In fact, some of the sci-fi authors like Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke invented things that are of vast importance for us today. Communication satellites being one of them. But big sci-fi fan. Space opera, I'll watch it. I mean, I'll go see Star Wars, but it's just something fun to watch that I don't want to miss. Big fan of sci-fi, huge fan. And we'll talk about some of the sci-fi series that I would recommend and why, so that you don't waste your time on some of the more boring or dry ones. Juliana Erickson. Juliana is a spiritual mentor of mine. She is one of the best people I have ever met. She does something called breath work, and I've gone to a couple of her classes, and it's phenomenal. If you're in the Nashville area, highly recommend going to one of her breathwork classes. They are game changing. She's also an author as well, very good author. And she just posted, "Inner stillness is the best getaway vacation." Inner stillness is the best getaway vacation. I agree. It doesn't matter if you're in Hawaii or if you're, that's my dream vacation, by the way, or if you're in the wilderness of Canada, or if you're in London, or wherever your dream destination vacation is, if you're feeling bad inside, it's not going to be a good experience. But if you're feeling good inside, then you can be anywhere, and it's like a vacation. She's right about that. Inner stillness is something that you can learn from these two books here, and it's gained often through practicing meditation, just watching what your mind does, watching how it reacts to things, and it's hard to describe, but when you practice those kind of things quite a lot, you will gain this spaciousness that you feel in your psychology, instead of it being like dense and stressful and anxious like most 21st century humans in the West are experiencing. I would venture to guess most people are feeling a lot of dense anxiety and fear, especially this year. This is an election year, and there's a lot going on in it too. But inner stillness, inner spaciousness is just like there's space around the situation. There's room for it to be non-reactive for you. And yes, that is absolutely the best getaway vacation. Agreed, Juliana. But that is, I think, the end of my questions. Let me make sure nobody posted anything since I started this video. But thank you so much for watching. I've got a busy schedule of videos for us this week. A lot of really fun stuff that I'm excited to do. We're going to do things on this channel, and a lot of fun things to talk about as well. And it's just something I've been excited to do. Oh, Josh Story, one of my friends from high school age, said I should do movie reviews. And I don't watch a lot of movies. I just don't. And maybe if there's a good one that comes out, like I'm really excited to see Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which has been delayed, unfortunately. And I'm excited to see Tom Hanks's Greyhound, which is on streaming for rent now. So we might get a couple movie reviews in there. Thanks for the suggestion, Josh. I will. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Chris Rimbolt, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a good day.